I like stories. It's taken me years to come to that conclusion, but I've discovered I don't care how shiny the graphics are in the game compared to the story and the characters in that game. Don't get me wrong, graphics, theming, interesting environments, those are very important parts to telling a story. But at the root level, I want to feel like I'm part of that story. That's the draw to video games as an interactive entertainment form, isn't it? Movies tell stories, but you can't interact with them unless you're fast-forwarding or rewinding. It plays out the exact same way each time. Not necessarily so with video games. At some point, I heard from someone that the better storytelling in video games was represented in the point-and-click genre. And that's what leads us to the game we're reviewing today. I installed and played Deponia, the complete journey, because I wanted an interesting, memorable story, and to play something a bit more laid back and casual. The technical motor skills of point-and-click games is nearly nothing. What I got was a protagonist I hated, several puzzle bumps that I wouldn't have gotten over without the help from the real MVPs, guide writers. But I can guarantee I'll remember the game, so to put it plainly, my opinion is mixed. You play as Rufus, and he'll never let you forget his name. Between him singing his name and every character exclaiming his name, I'm afraid I'll be associating Rufus with deplorable scumbag for years to come. Rufus does rhyme with doofus, and I wanted to make that joke, but here's the thing. Doofus just isn't scathing enough for me. But right now you should be wondering, Atratzu, why are you saying such mean things about this character? Surely he isn't that bad. You have no idea. Excuse me. You have no idea how awful he is, to the point where I was desperately looking for redeemable qualities throughout the rest of the game. He steals. Well, that one's on me, I guess. He lies. He cheats. He uses other people as a means to an end, deceives them. He's only looking to further his own goals. What are his goals? To get to Elysium. You see, Rufus is stuck on a planet called Deponia, a junk trash heap of a planet full of old, rusted technology, spare parts, and he has dreams to reach the magical city in the sky. Literally, actually. Several unfortunate accidents later, Rufus has made a mess of things and now needs to try to fix the situation. The best example would be in the simple task, remove dust from memory card. How would you remove dust? Wipe it down with a soft cloth and use safe spray? What are you, stupid? No, clearly you first need to use a dirty towel to make it gross. Then you need to spit on it, and then you brush it down with a metal brush to leave permanent scratches and plug it back in. Did you flinch? I flinched. And that's the whole game, more or less. Rufus makes bad situations worse. So, here we are again. Rufus is an interesting character, but I hate him. The whole bumbling fool protagonist thing is actually kind of charming. And unwanted destruction is perfectly fine. It's when he swindles people. It's when he uses and loses people. It's when he has a conniving plan that actively hurts other people. And sometimes it seems it's hurting others for the sake of hurting others. That is when I have a problem. Does he have any redeemable qualities? Well, at the end of the story, he makes the right choice, but the ends doesn't justify the means. Let's get philosophical for a second. If you push someone in front of a train to slow it down to save a family, you've still killed someone. Rufus is worse. He'd push someone in front of a train to pick up a quarter on the ground, then search for spare change in the pockets of the disemboweled legs, then proceed to buy something from the other half of the dying person with the money from his or her own legs. In regards to gameplay, a point-and-click game should be simple to explain from a mechanical standpoint. I mean, it's just right there in the title. You just play the game with the mouse, you point the cursor, you click. There is an inventory. You mouse wheel down to access it. The first rule of point-and-click games is pick up all the things. The next rule is talk to and inspect all the things. Then use all chat options. From there, you should have all you need to figure out the puzzles and know which item goes where, and figure out what you need. Pro tip, hold down spacebar to see all interactable objects. I could not have made it without you spacebar. Deponia, the complete journey, even does you one more, with a sketch outline from Rufus giving you hints and reminders what your goal is, and the step you're on for reaching that goal and keeping you on track. But of course, point-and-click games eventually require you to do some crazy stuff. For example, to open a door, you might need to use a waffle with a pigeon to make a fat pigeon, which you can use with a hairbrush to make a slipstream pigeon missiles that you will shoot out of a cannon at a switch on the other side of the world. How would you know that the pigeon was the key? Because some character commented, "Oh boy, I do love pigeons and would hate to know that my pigeon was shot into next Monday." Only think more cryptically than that. I would like to highlight a couple other things before wrapping up this review. The graphics were great. The world was interesting. I genuinely cared about the love interest. I liked the side characters and was happy every time one of them popped up again. The animation is very good. The music was good. The musical narration after each chapter was my favorite part. Huzzah, let's come back for more. There were a few minigames that I actually did enjoy. I even chuckled at some points and references in the game. In conclusion, the question I pose for myself is this: did I like the game? I just can't give a straight yes or no. There are things I liked and things I disliked. Generally, I think I lean in the positive direction. There was a lot of work put together to make this game. I picked up my copy free somewhere, but it also goes on sale regularly. It took me a surprising amount of time to finish the game, even with help from guides. In each section, I always tried to figure out what I could do on my own first until I hit a dead end and looked it up. The first part took me 7 hours, the second part took me 10 hours, and the third and final part took me 10 hours, ending with a total of 27 hours. While my opinion on Deponia, the complete journey, is certainly mixed, I can confidently say that it was an experience I won't soon forget. Some people will like this game, others will hate it. I should hazard a warning that this really doesn't strike me as a kid's game either. There's a fair bit of suggestive things that happened and fan service. I wish I could nail down solid advice if you're interested in picking up Deponia, the complete journey. It's very typical with point-and-click video games and their logic. There's a lot of going from area to area and then backtracking over the same space you've seen before. Again, let me underline, I had to use guides to get unstuck in several sections of the game. But, to paraphrase my favorite review on Steam for Deponia, the complete journey, you should treat this game like a cartoon and watch it, rather than play it. That, very well, might be the best course of action. Either way, there's plenty here if you're interested.